Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, it is bloody out there. Bitcoin back below $114,000. We got a lot of whales manipulating the market. And over the past month or so, we've seen both longs and shorts getting liquidated. So usually you don't see that much bunched together, but clearly whales are trying to squeeze as much liquidity out of this market. And it could be they're trying to reset the sentiment to a fear zone, if you want to call it that, before we see our next rally. But it is what it is. Well, let me give you some details here. So Bitcoin feeling the brunt of it. Here, Jason Pizzino, analyst, said Bitcoin reversed all of Friday's gains from the Fed's dovish interest rate speech. Consolidation continues as expected for August and September. But Ethereum, for the most part, is still holding up very well. It's currently at over $4,700. Total 3 still, consolidating as well. Nothing new here, but it's going to follow Ethereum for the most part. But, Bitcoin's taking the brunt of it. So what caused this crash? Well, some folks saw from on-chain data that a single whale caused a $310 million Bitcoin flash crash by dumping over 24,000 Bitcoin. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. The entity still holds 152,874 Bitcoin across linked wallets. The funds trace back to HTX deposits from 6 years ago. So some whale manipulating the market here. And even on Binance, we're seeing Binance itself is dumping a lot of ETH and Bitcoin to liquidate longs. And one user says this is pure manipulation. Now, I don't know if this is 100% manipulation, but with the whale dumping on the market, and in addition, maybe the sentiment not there, you're seeing everybody kind of liquidating a bit. I'm not as sophisticated where I know a lot about what happens on the back ends with exchanges, but I'm just using some of the information I've seen out there and the little bit that I know. So, folks, the TLDR here, just be patient. And this is why we don't use leverage, because the house always wins. The exchanges are in on the game and you are going to get wrecked more often than not. Charlie Munger has said, the 3 ways a man can go broke is leverage, women, and booze, right? So the leverage is one of those things. You got to be careful, folks. And if you're not using leverage, you're fine, right? The only thing you got to stomach the volatility, but this is par for the course. This is how you earn your stripes and how you make money. And I've been here since 2016, so I've seen it all. So this is not surprising to me, but it happens from time to time. But eventually, they're going to wrap up their short-term manipulation and pump this thing higher. And we're going to see retail flood in. So it's all par for the course, guys. So just be patient and don't panic. This is where you don't look at your portfolio. That's a little trick I've learned over the years. Do not look at your portfolio and walk away. Go touch grass, go touch the sand. Don't look at the charts all day, right, folks? Now, here's an example that we are still in a bull market. Many of you may know that Kanye West launched a token on Hyperliquid called YZY. So, guys, you know how I feel about meme coins, but this is degenerate times degenerate, right? Well, of course, you have people who invest in it, and it started dumping, and it wiped out a ton of people. Even Andrew Tate, and I'm no fan of Andrew Tate, he lost $700,000 trying to short Kanye West's YZY token. So, a fool in his money, all right, folks. So this is what happens when you use leverage, folks. You want to stay away from leverage. And it's important to just buy spot, buy the blood on the streets, buy the corrections, buy the bear markets. I've been on the record saying that for years, and you will be fine, right? Just buy and hold for the euphoric blow off top phase where you take profits. And it's a patience game, right? The leverage guys may say, oh, but I get the money faster, but they are handling 100 times more the risk, right? By using leverage. So guys, just be careful. And guys, I'm a big believer in moving your crypto off the exchanges and using self-custody. I've been using hardware wallets for years. It's the safest way to custody your crypto. And Trezor is the sponsor of this podcast. I'm a user of the Trezor Safe 5 wallet. And Trezor, they were the first to create hardware wallets. They started doing this in 2013. They created the seed phrase setup and much more. And they support a variety of tokens, all the big tokens, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, even new tokens. And they have a great software called Trezor Suite where it's easy to manage all of these tokens and all the cool features. And they also have a great handholding service where you can talk to a Trezor rep to set up your device. Don't worry, they don't ask you for your private keys. That is not something you have to share, but they'll help you to navigate the device and how to set it up. So that's a great service not many companies offer in the industry. So I'm a big believer in Trezor. Once again, I use the device. And if you use my code ThinkingCrypto, all one word, ThinkingCrypto, you can get 5% off your purchase. So check out Trezor. Link will be in the description. All right, moving ahead. Japan eyes a 20% flat tax for crypto trades, path to ETF offering with tax code revision. There's a lot happening in Japan. Just this week, we heard they were launching their stablecoin on Ethereum, Polygon, and Avalanche. Ripple and SBI said they were expanding RLUSD in Japan and much more. So the Japan's Financial Services Agency plans to request a review of how the country's tax code treats crypto, aiming to tax gains similarly to stocks and eyeing future crypto ETF offerings. According to a report from local outlet Nikkei, the agency is also expected to approve the country's first domestically regulated yen-pegged stablecoin in the fall as Japan looks to spur crypto adoption. So folks, we've often talked about crypto is a global asset class, and look at what we're seeing globally. Mass adoption. The governments are on board. They're not banning this. They're not outlawing it. They're regulating it. They're saying you can participate, both retail and institutions. They're building and approving these financial products like ETFs and much more, creating more on-ramps. And, they're going to tax it, right? The tax man, you got to pay the tax man. There's no way to avoid it, right? So this is great to see, very bullish. And we're going to see more and more countries do this, guys. Game theory will play out. If you don't know what game theory is, you can go read it up. It's a theory where it outlines whether it's countries, companies, or people. We all want to compete and be the best, and we don't want to be left behind. So sometimes it takes one mover to make a move in a certain region or area, and then others follow suit, right? So this is why it's important to understand these concepts as they play out in different aspects in crypto. So very bullish news. Now, I mentioned crypto's global. Here's another example. KPMG, that's a big name, one of the top 4 audit companies, says investor interest in digital assets will drive strong second half for Canadian fintechs. So Canadian fintech companies raised $1.62 billion in the first half of 2025 with significant investments in digital assets and AI startups. Despite a global slowdown, Canadian investors continue to support fintech ventures, particularly those focused on blockchain and AI-driven financial tools. The report indicates a strong second half of 2025 for fintech investments driven by U.S. regulatory support and the adoption of AI solutions. So we're seeing capital being raised and invested into crypto companies, in addition to other techs, like AI and much more, but crypto is part of the basket, right? So we've often talked about we are in the 4th industrial revolution, where you are seeing the rise and convergence of many different technologies, and they all support each other, right? So blockchain, AI, EV, space exploration, robotics. I just did an interview with a robot company that's building the Android software for robots, and they're using Ethereum, where the robot's constitution is in an Ethereum smart contract. It is downloaded by the robot to abide by the rules and laws. This is the future, whether we like it or not. So let's take advantage of it and try to make as much money, right, folks? So it's great to see globally cryptos getting adoption, a lot of money is being invested, and much more. All right, moving ahead. World Liberty Perpetual's debut implies $40 billion FDV ahead of first unlock on September 1st. So World Liberty Financial is, of course, connected to President Trump and his kids. And they have a token, and they've been doing a lot, buying a lot of crypto, setting up a lot of DeFi aspects and solutions. So World Liberty Financial, the DeFi project closely associated with the Trump family, said it would start unlocking its tokens for trading on September 1st. 20% of the tokens purchased by early investors in the 1 cent here and 5 cents rounds will be unlocked following a lockbox process. Perpetual futures trading for the WLFI token launched Saturday on major exchanges, currently trading around 42 cents, a significant increase over the prices paid by early investors. At that price, the Trump family's stake in the project would be worth over $9 billion. Now, I know some people are going to be very upset about it, that Trump and his family are involved, but there's nothing we can do about that. And I've said, look, I don't care if his kids are involved, as long as he's not involved, because he's the president, he needs to focus on running the country. And the only thing I didn't like was the meme coin. I don't think any president or political figure should have that. But if his kids want to participate, it is what it is. We live in the free market, and it is what it is there. Now, final news item: newcomer launchpad Heaven nears $350 million in volume as team pledges 1-year token lockup. So Heaven, a Solana-based token launchpad, has processed nearly $350 million in volume since its launch on August 15th. Heaven's team announced Saturday that it will reinvest its allocated LIGHT token, so LIGHT, to adhere to a 1-year cliff. 100% of the protocol's revenues are used for programmatic token buybacks. So this is interesting. Launchpads are great because they allow people to create unique tokens. You got pumped out fun on Solana. One may argue that's not really a great launchpad because you can create meme coins. But again, I may not like it, but I believe in the free market, and there should be some level of regulation to make sure people are not getting rugged or scammed. But at the same time, I think they should be able to launch it and create it, right? Well, you got these new launch pads that are coming up, and we'll see what it will allow people to do and which tokens they can launch. Because if you can launch things that are not maybe meme coins, but more utility tokens, maybe like, for example, small businesses can launch tokens for their businesses that has utility built into it. That would be really great. And they can do it very cost effectively. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and it's easy to use. That would be great, right? Just as an example, small or medium-sized businesses. So, these things really can open the door to mass adoption of crypto and people coming on chain. So this is really great. And this is a project I'll be looking into. If I do decide to take an investment in it, I'll let you guys know. I always let you guys know which new coins I add to my portfolio. And those of you who are channel members, you have a direct link to my portfolio in a spreadsheet to see what's in there. So, I've said that I will be liquidating majority of my altcoins in this bull market, and I'm keeping some Bitcoin I'm selling, but some I'm keeping long term. And then when the bear market comes, I'll be backing up the truck, taking some of my profits to reinvest and get ready for the next bull market cycle. So that's my strategy. You don't have to copy it, you don't have to follow it, but I hope you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and using the market momentum and cyclical patterns to make as much money as possible. I've been through bull and bear markets where I've watched my portfolio drop down, and it's pretty painful. So you want to make sure you're taking some profits so that you walk away, from the bull market with money in your pocket, because it's pretty painful to not have taken profits and then watch your portfolio drop. Now, if you're like a very rich person, or you're good, comfortable financially, and you're like, I don't care, I'm holding for the next 5-10 years, whatever, I've got money, then, that's you. That's everybody's financial situation is different. So always do what's best for you. Do your research, of course, but understand the cyclical pattern of markets. And this happens in the stock market as well. So if you are looking to get financial freedom, eliminate debt, maybe go buy a house, whatever you need to do, when we are in the bull market and things are going well and there's a lot of liquidity, right? Because come the bear market, it is pretty rough. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. A great way you can support me is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free on Substack. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. Knowledge is power. Expand your knowledge about this technology and asset class. This course is packed with tons of value. Guys, I always get great comments and feedback about the course. When you go in there, you can leave comments, and in the lessons, you'll see other people's comments. and I respond to additional questions you may have. So you can feel free to post them in there as you're going through the course, and you can go at your own pace. And you can share the login with your friends and family if you want. Like I said, knowledge is power, guys. So I put a lot of work into this. It features videos from institutional investors, founders, CEOs, and many folks. No other course offers this. So check it out. Link will be in the description. Go to mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.